Hey everyone, I'm Aaron Hale, and I'm the co-founder with my wife of Extraordinary Delights Confections right here in Santa Rosa Beach. And we're friends with your teacher, Miss Wren Brassfield, and heard you had some questions for me, and I'd love to answer them right now. So we're going to go through them one by one, and I'll do my best to answer your questions.
Okay. Did you like cooking and baking as a child?
Yes, my whole family has a creative gene. My mom is an excellent artist. She paints and draws. My brother is pretty good too, and I was actually pretty good with the visual arts. But where my talent really lied was in the kitchen, and I've been cooking since I could reach over the counter. I absolutely love it, and it's one of my favorite pastimes for being creative and putting a smile on other people's faces.
Okay. Do you like cooking at home with your family?
Well, like I said, it's one of my favorite pastimes. So, of course, I love feeding my family, and I love getting feedback of whether they like it or they don't, and whether my new creations have hit their mark or not. Yeah, of course, I love it.
All right. What is the best and worst part of your job?
Well, best part of my job is that I make candy. What could be bad about that? I love it. And one tough thing is that sometimes it's long hours, but it is a work of passion, and that makes the work not that tough. Even though sometimes you got to stand on your feet for long hours at a time, I really enjoy what I do.
Okay. When you mess up a dish, do you start over or do you go with what you have?
That all depends. There are some ways to make corrections without throwing the whole thing out. Say you're making a soup and you put too much salt in it. One trick is to put a whole potato right into your soup, and it soaks up the salt. Other times, there are other quick fixes like that. So it all depends on the situation, case by case.
Okay. Did you go to culinary school?
I did not go to a formal culinary school, but when I joined the military, the Navy sent me to the Navy's cooking school. So yes, I did get some training through the military, but no, I did not go to a culinary arts academy.
And we went to chocolate school.
That's right, I went to chocolate school.
Okay. When did you decide you wanted to become a chef?
When I left high school, I didn't know what I was going to do. I did know I loved cooking, but I'd grown up knowing that I had to go to college, and I chose the wrong major. I picked something that seemed like it would make a lot of money, but I had no interest in. And soon I found myself leaving school, and I had to decide what I was going to do when I grew up. And I realized that my real passion was in the kitchen. I also realized that I wanted to serve my country. So I figured I could pair the two things, and I could be a chef in the military. And that's what led to me becoming a chef.
Okay, and what's your favorite seasoning?
The best seasoning is love. When you put your passion into the food, that's what really comes out and what people can really taste when you care about what you're making. Everything else in the spice cabinet doesn't matter, because sometimes you don't need a spice. Many different cuisines are all about simplicity and freshness of the ingredients, and you don't need spices and seasonings. But no matter what you're making, when you put your heart into it, that's what people can taste.
Okay. And what is the hardest part of being a chef? But I would take that a step further. What's the hardest part about being a blind chef?
uh, uh, the hardest part about being a blind chef is that I've only got so many fingers to burn or cut. I see with my hands, and sometimes I see hot pots and hot stovetops or sharp blades. And it does get difficult, but over time, my fingers have gotten used to it.
Okay, and last question we'll do today is, why does cooking interest you?
Cooking interests me for all the reasons I've said before. I have a passion for it. I love it. I do believe it is an art, and not only does it satisfy craving, keep you alive, it's also an outlet for creativity. It's a time to meditate or to listen to audiobooks or podcasts or learn something while you're cooking. It's a pastime, a hobby, and I get to share it with my family and friends and all of you.
Okay, cool. That's it.
All right, thanks a
so
lot.
much.